Thank you so much for attending my presentation about why restricted Pokemon formats are wild, and first let's talk about what they are. VGC operates on a rotational system where the legal Pokemon change between formats. In restricted ones, you can use the most powerful legendaries in the game, like Kyogre or Rayquaza. Normally you're held to only 2 per team, which means that the other 4 members have to be non-restricted. However, in the current Regulation G format, that's limited to 1. This has often been described as a quote-unquote protect the president kind of format where teams will be built around their single restricted. This means that finding Pokemon to counter these absurd threats is very important and gives formerly bad Pokemon surprising viability. This video is going to be focused on some of the Pokemon that get better when legendaries come around, what general roles they fill, and why they work. Coming into Gen 9, competitive players were a bit worried about Palmot. Its stats are pretty mediocre, but the new Revival Blessing move is extremely dangerous. It's the first, and so far only way to get a Pokemon back after it faints. It did pretty well in the first format, especially with Dondozo and Tatsugiri. Yeah, one Dondozo was scary, but taking on 2 is a whole other beast. It would fall off later, but it's back to play again. The reason it's getting some usage now is pretty similar. In essence, it lets you get another restricted, albeit at half health, which is still a ton of value. But there's another Pokemon that's even better for this purpose, Ditto. When sent in across from a restricted legendary, you immediately turn into that restricted legendary, forcing your opponent to deal with 2 at once. These sets run Choice Scarf to guarantee it outspeeds the original and most likely its partner too. Ditto has a lot of great results, snagging several regional top 8s and recently got 5th at the North America International Championships piloted by Justin Burns. Clefairy can be a bit confusing. Despite its low base stats, it only gets better the more power there is. Regulation G has proven this, as Clefairy already has several great placements. You probably know why it's good. Friendguard reduces damage to its allies, letting them stay alive to set up. It can also redirect attacks with Follow Me, giving those teammates more time on the field. But why is it getting better? It's simple. Legendary setup Pokemon are insane. There's 2 I want to focus on, Calyrex Shadow and Terapagos. While the former had a rough start to Reg G, it's making a comeback with the setup set. By using either Calm Mind or Nasty Plot, which Clefairy lets it do, Astral Barrage deals fucking unfair damage. Montana Mott won the Los Angeles Regionals using a Clefairy Calyrex Shadow build alongside another player in the top 4. Terapagos has also been amazing. Calm Mind sets are seeing a resurgence in high-level play alongside Clefairy. At the Lima Special event, the top 2 teams are running this offensive core. These IDs of bulky setup while taking some time to get going are now some of the most dangerous teams in the meta. Last, we'll quickly go over some interesting niches that, while a bit simpler, are still very impactful. Unique defensive traits get way better, as being able to completely stop a powerful legendary is super valuable to a team. Gastrodon is the best example of this phenomena. Storm Drain lets it absolutely obliterate Kyogre, buffing its special attack while partially protecting its teammates. It's won worlds because of this, all of a sudden becoming a high-tier Pokemon. Screamtail has also seen a jump in usage. With booster speed, it's quicker than almost anything without Tailwind and has a ton of ways to take advantage of restricteds. Encore in particular is really nice, especially right now with tons of dragons. Being locked into dragon moves in front of a fairy type really sucks, and Screamtail can also fire back with Dazzling Gleam. I've talked about it a lot recently, but I have to at least mention the spread move stopping Wide Guard, which has single-handedly made Pelipper and Mienshao good. Literally 2 days ago, as of this video's posting, Overqwil came out of nowhere to place top 8 at NEIC courtesy of Henry Rich. It was run alongside Kyogre, getting a Swift Swim boost and then clicking Fast Acid Spray. This move hits both opponents and halves their special defense, turning Kyogre's powerful water spouts into unkillable behemoths. Finally, Smeargle, whose gimmick lets it use nearly any move in the game. The unique combination of Spore, Fake Out, and 2 other supportive options is insane roll compression. While having these free turns doesn't matter as much in lower power formats, the sheer strength of these legendaries allows them to deal absurd damage with the time they get. In conclusion, due to the more deadly nature of restricted formats, weird Pokemon have a chance to shine. With the damage ratcheting up even further, every little niche matters much more. Thank you so much for watching.